course, I was so disappointed in the sound quality. So I actually tried to record it a couple more times last night, and the issue was the microphone. So I am recording it again so that everybody will have the benefit of actually hearing me and not sound like a robot. So I'm going to go ahead and go over what we went over last night in the webinar. The nutritional facts, I'm not going to go over that, but I will go over the HCG 3.0. So last night, Connie and I actually shared the stage and we talked about the HCG 3.0, which is not a new protocol. I didn't create the protocol. It was given to me by one of the members in the group, and I looked at it and loved it. Gave it to Connie and to Kara actually as well, and we were able to put some things together and actually make it better, enhance it. I think, in my opinion, it made it a lot easier to read and follow. So Connie's been doing it. She gave her account and her testimony last night that she has been losing about a pound a day, you know, in transitioning from the 2.0 over to the 3.0 protocol. Now, what it is that it is a way of combining keto with HCG, which is very interesting to me. Now, the original protocol came out, I don't know, 70, 80 years ago, and it was very effective for a lot of people for a lot of years. But one of the things that a lot of nutritionists, dietitians, and critics alike all thought, and I agree, was that how can someone that weighed maybe 300 pounds eat the same amount of calories as someone who weighs 200 pounds or 150 pounds or whatever it may be? The weight difference was so vast, but the calorie amount was still the same. And it just didn't make a lot of sense that one would be restricted to only 500 calories. A man needs more calories than a woman because of the way the body is made up. And so there have been a lot of controversy and criticism over HCG for so many years because people thought that maybe it was starving the body and blah, 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 and this and that, whatever. So I did HCG, original protocol, just like a lot of you, and I was successful in it the first time I did it. There was a lot of constipation and a lot of headaches, and that was I guess that was the trade-off, you know, for losing the weight. So then HCG 2.0 came out last year is when I discovered it, and I shared it with the other group that I had, and then I shared it with this group as well. It is not a program. I'm sorry, it's not a product, it's a protocol. And so you could use that protocol with Skinny in a Bottle. And this was better for a lot of people because you not only was able to mix your vegetables, but you were able to have more calories, and the calories were based on your personal assessment of your age, your weight, and your height. So it was more specialized to your body, and it left people feeling more satisfied and not as hungry and not as restrictive. However, you still weren't able to have oils, and people were still suffering with constipation and headaches. So when this new protocol came to me, it just started clicking and it made sense. One of the reasons why it makes so much sense is because it is telling you that you should add oils, add fats. Actually, I shouldn't just say oils, but fats back into your diet. Now, we know that fat burns fat. That is not a myth. That's scientifically true. Fat burns fat. In addition to that, you know, having fat in your body is going to help your body produce stools better. So it's less likely that you would be constipated if you are putting fat and oils into your diet. In addition to that, this protocol introduces what's called calorie shifting or calorie cycling, which is a means of you having a set amount of calories that you're suggested to have daily, but you can actually take those calories and spread them out over a period of a week and differentiate between one day to the next, whether you want it to have a lot of calories or a little amount of calories. It's called calorie shifting or calorie confusion. I will get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the program because I'm really, really excited about it. And I've actually started on it now. I hadn't started yesterday because I was still going through my transition from phase 2 to 3. And today I started on it. If you noticed in the group, I did post some high-fat foods because I was going to have a high-fat day since for the last 3 days I've still been eating on my HCG 2.0 regular phase 2 protocol because, you know, you got to do that for 3 days after you take your last drops. And the last drops I had was Sunday night. So I had to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sorry, the last drops I had was Saturday. So they had to do that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And so today was my first day that I was able to have my high fats or have my phase 3 food. And I chose to have high fats and my higher calories for today. So I probably won't weigh until Friday, because while you're doing this and transitioning, of course, your body is going to be wondering like what's going on. So it's going to take a couple of days to catch up. But on Friday, I'll go ahead and weigh, and then I'll report what my findings are. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and share my screen so that I can go through the actual protocol with you like I did last night. But hopefully tonight you can hear me a lot better. Okay, so just give me a moment. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then I'll go through the program. All right, so I'm going to pull up. All right, so I have the calorie shifting pulled. Actually, I'm going to start with the other one. I'm going to pull up the guidelines for keto first. And I'm going to pull up the keto calculator, which is going to talk about in a moment. So, it's a disclaimer. Please note that I did not create this program. It was given to me and mildly adapted. Please consult your doctor before starting this or any other weight loss program. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not meant to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So on here, I should have put this on here. I think I put it in the other documents that on phase 1, you will still load as normal and take your drops. Now, for some reason, I'm a lot of people saying that they have not taken their drops while loading. I don't know if it's just a breakdown of communication, because I know that I put it in the brochure, but you cannot load without taking your drops. If you do, you're not loading. You're just eating more. And I don't want you to have to start over. If you do that, or if you did that, you will have to start over. Loading is so important. It not only prepares your body for the actual program and the protocol, it helps. The HCG is actually finding fat based on the fats that you're eating in those 3 days. As well as if you load correctly, you won't be as hungry in phase 2. So if you're just eating a whole bunch of food for 1 to 3 days and you don't take your drops, I am so sorry, but you did not load. So go ahead and start over. Wherever you are in your program, start over, because it's not going to be as effective for you as if you would have loaded. And please make sure that you're reading the material. Even if you think that you know how to do a program, if you're not reading the material, then you're doing yourself a disservice. I wouldn't assume any of this information or any program. I definitely wouldn't do that. And I know sometimes there's a lot of material to read, but it is definitely beneficial. It would behoove you to read it instead of having to start over. Okay, I'm done preaching about that. I hope that you all understand. I'm just kind of passionate about that because I don't want you to have to start over. I want you to be successful in this program. That's why you're doing it. Okay, so for phase 2, after you loaded, you go on to phase 2. Using this program with Skinny in a Bottle can accelerate weight loss. However, you may alternatively use it with Skinny Extreme or Skinny Supreme, which are our non-hormone or hormone-free version of the drops. You could use it with either one. If you're doing HCG, use your Skinny in a Bottle. If you're doing keto, use the Extreme or Skinny Supreme. Your weight loss may be a little bit slower, but you will still accelerate your weight loss. Okay, then you're going to get started by putting in this keto calculator website. This is what you're going to put in. This is what you're going to use to put in your credentials. When you're on Skinny in a Bottle, you will eat fewer calories depending on your credentials, height, weight, and age. A typical calorie range is about 600 to 900 calories. Hold on just a moment. I need to just make sure that this is recording correctly. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. So you're going to put in your height, weight, and age. A typical calorie range is 600 to 900 calories. You can use the food guide from HCG 3.0, but the only foods that you really need to stay away from are sugars and starches. Even on this program, you can have fruit, but use the fruit from your regular keto guide, which is the fruit that's lower in carbs and calories, which are like melons and, you know, a few strawberries, you know, berries or whatever. Just make sure that you're restricting that. You don't want to put your body into a situation where you're now craving more carbs because you're putting that fruit back in. So just be careful of that. You can also have Ezekiel bread, but no regular flour, popcorn, pasta, white bread, potatoes, jams, none of that. You don't want it to have any of that into your program. So the first thing you'll do is what I said, is open up this calculator. Then in here, you'll enter your credentials. And let me just take all of this out so that I can really start over. So you enter whatever your current weight is and how tall you are. I am tall. I am 5'10". And then my birthday is September 12th. I'm 43. And then I'm just following down this, you know, the numerical steps here. You'll locate this number, 1590. And if this number is different from this number, you'll want to copy and paste that number in here. Mine are the same, but just make sure that you watch out for that. Now you're going to scroll on down, and we're going to skip this body fat part. This is not, as a non-factor for this right now. So just skip that and go on down here to how many carbs can I eat? Let's start with 20. I mean, you may have to change that. You may have to make adjustments to that and maybe do 30. Some people need 35. But if you start at 20, you can just kind of gauge it and play around with it. This whole program is going to be based on you figuring out what works best for your body. Everybody's body is different, and that's why I really salute this program, because unlike HCG Original Protocol, it's basically telling you that you need to do this program according to your body type, your age, your weight, your height. All of those things have a factor in how we lose weight. Okay, so just put 20 in there for now. And then here is where you're going to need to know what your glucose is like. So if you lose weight at a slower pace, then your glucose is probably high. And if it is, you want to start with 60. Again, you can change this around too if you need to. But for now, we'll start with 60. If you lose weight normally, then your glucose is probably, you know, lower. It's in the lower, which is normal, like 60 to upper 90s. And then you would put, 60 to lower 90s. And then you'll put 100 in here. I'm going to keep it at 60, but you would put 100 in this box instead, if that is what your glucose falls in. And then if you scroll down to how much fat should I eat, this is where you'll be able to do what's called high calorie days and low calorie days. So let's say you wanted to do or figure out what your high calorie day is. You'll put in 40. Or start with 40, I should say. If you put in 40, which means that you're eating 40% of your BMR, then your calories, your high day calories, will be 954. Let's say that you want to determine what your lower calorie days are. Here you'll put in 55. That means that you'll be eating 715 calories daily. Now, that makes sense for anyone who's going to do calorie shifting, which I'm going to get into that after I finish with this, but just keep that in mind, that you'll have high calorie days and low calorie days if you're doing the calorie shifting, or if you want to just keep it all at the same caloric level every day, you could do that. But the purpose of this program is for you to be able to go back and forth. So then I'll go ahead to the next phase. All right, I'm sorry, I just had a little distraction. Okay, so what I would suggest you do is give yourself a week at these numbers and see how your body adjusts. If you need to enter the numbers to get your lower protein, if you need to, you can enter your numbers to get lower protein, higher fat, etc. Every 10 pounds, you should recalculate your numbers, because, you know, for every 10 pounds, it's like a dress size. So recalculate your numbers so that you'll be able to be accurate as far as your calories are concerned. So then if you want to go on to the bottom here, you'll see that your personal macros based on whatever your percentage deficit is. So since this is our lower calorie days, you'll see that you have 20 grams of carbs, 60 grams of protein, 44 grams of fat, and it gives you the actual percentage. Now, if you put in your higher calorie days, you'll notice that your fat is going to increase. So you're going to have higher fat here. Okay. So now we're going to go on to phase 3. When you are finished with phase 2, and again, I'm going to tell you about calorie shifting. But when you're finished with phase 2 and you're transitioning to phase 3, you'll do the same thing that you do with HCG original protocol as well as HCG 2.0. You're going to eat normally for 72 hours after your last dose, and then you'll add calories and oils. So don't forget that you still can't have any sugar or flour in this phase. If you do go over 2 pounds, remember you're going to have to do a steak day. So, and the instructions for the steak day is in the files. So now by the second week, you should be at your full calorie limit as long as your weight is stabilizing. If you're not stabilizing, don't try to push it. You may just have to wait until the 3rd week and then you'll get to your calories. But you still should be losing weight. So again, you may have to make some adjustments here. You may have to make adjustments using higher fat, higher protein. You might have to adjust your carbs. It's up to your body and what it needs. So this will be really you trying to figure it out and determine what your body needs. If you need help in figuring out your protein, if you scroll down, I won't read it because it is kind of technical. But if you follow through, you will be able to understand how to figure out your protein based on your weight in pounds. And it'll be able to, it's going to make sense once you do it. And then you'll be able to plug those numbers in as well. This is your maintenance phase. So make sure that you are calculating everything correctly like you did in phase 2. But just know that you're going to be eating a lot more. Now, I wanted to talk about calorie shifting. Calorie shifting and calorie cycling and intermittent fasting. You can do intermittent fasting with this program in phase 2 and phase 3. You absolutely can. And I actually did intermittent fasting today. Absolutely love it. Love being able to eat what I want within a certain window of time because I can go all day without eating. I can eat my first meal at 5 o'clock and it won't bother me at all. As long as I don't start eating, if I don't start, I can continue on the whole day. So I fast quite often and it doesn't bother me at all. And it actually helps you with mental clarity, helps you with weight loss. You should really Google, if you don't know already, the benefits of intermittent fasting. So for calorie shifting, what is it? It's also called cycling. And if you remember, Connie actually created the carb cycling program that we use with keto. If you're not going to do the keto diet, you could do the carb cycling. I'm sorry, when I said when we use with keto, we don't. We use that when we take the skinny extreme or the skinny supreme. And she created that, and it's a way of kind of tricking your body so that your body doesn't get used to the same thing daily and it goes into a starvation mode. So what happens is that this carb cycling allows you to combat the natural process that occurs in your metabolism whenever you're restricting calories. Your body is designed to preserve its fat stores. So whenever those stores are threatened with a decrease of calories and fat, goes down, and to compensate it, then most of the time people plateau. So if you want to avoid a plateau, which most of us want to do that, or a stall, you can trick your metabolism by alternating your caloric intake. This is similar to carb cycling, in which it keeps your body guessing. And the benefits of this is that your body won't get adjusted or used to the same amount of calories you're giving it daily, and therefore your metabolism becomes more efficient. So when you're doing this, one of the things that you could do is take, let's just say that your chosen intake or your chosen calorie, your high calorie, you were going to take your higher calorie days, okay? And let's just say that this was 800 for the benefit of this exercise. If your total allotted calories after you did your calculations was 800 calories a day, you would multiply that by 7 days in a week to get 5,600 calories, okay? You can then take those calories and shift them every day if you want. You could on Sunday, if you were deciding to have a high calorie day, maybe you're going to go to a Sunday dinner on Sunday, and then Monday you decided to have low calorie days. You could switch up your calories each day, okay? So this is the benefit, because some days you may be hungrier than others. If you have an event or if you have something that's going on, this will definitely be something that you really want to do. So all of this is actually in the documents for you. And I'm so excited that we have the opportunity to institute this into your program. You can actually start this at any time, because I know that you're probably going to ask me that. You can start at any time. You can shift over after you've done your loading. So even if you're on day 2 of phase 2, day 2, you can go ahead and switch over and start doing this. Now, it may take your body a little bit of time in order to get adjusted, but make sure that you just give your body that time. It may even take it a week. But this is an excellent program. I'm very excited about it, and I hope that you are too. So whatever information you need, whatever questions you have, please make sure that you reach out to us, whether it's in the group or via email. Reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to give you that information. One moment. So the last thing I wanted to mention is the actual sale. So last night on the webinar, I did say to everyone that we were having an anniversary sale, and the people that were on the webinar were going to get first dibs at the sale because they were on the webinar. And unfortunately, since you couldn't hear it and not everybody was able to get on, I wasn't able to share it with everybody. I actually was talking about it, but then I realized I didn't even have the slide up. So this, I'm going to give this to everybody. It's going to be valid from actually last night through January the 28th. You can get 30% off of these products just for being on the webinar. After the 28th, which is Saturday, the discount will go down to 15 to 25%. You can use code webinar30. Bundle kits are not included in this. And if you go to the website here, you can click on this happy anniversary tab, and all of the products that are included in the sale are in here. So yes, Skinny in a Bottle is also included in the sale. I do have some sales from today, and if you purchased today before you saw this, I will honor the price and give you the discount on your items before or either after I ship them out. So no worries on that. So again, these items, the African Blackberry soap, Blackberry vanilla soap, the Energy Explode, the Sleep Aid, Her Freedom Sexual Enhancement, all of the jams, the Honey Mustard Barbecue Sauce, the Hickory Maple Barbecue Sauce, both of the Skinny Drops and Skinny in a Bottle, the Stevia and the Detox, Supreme Skinny Detox, those are all on sale, 30% off last night through this Saturday. Okay? So I hope that this video has been of value to you. I hope that you were able to follow through with what I was saying, and any other questions you have, once again, please feel free to contact us in the group. Okay. I hope everybody has an amazing night. Bye.